Hey yo, it looks like Pep's done it again, using a player you would not expect in a role not familiar to him to make a revolutionary new tactic. Out of nowhere, he started using 4 centre-backs in different positions, with John Stones being the heart of it. And today I'm going to show you 3 versions of the tactic that have led to some great, stunning results in Football Manager. Right, first up, listen, I want you to look at this screen. I use these opposition instructions about halfway through the save, and it significantly improved things, especially against harder opposition. So take a note of those and use them if you like. I guess the main point of these was the tight marking on the defenders to stop the progressive play, making the fullbacks go onto their alternative foot and forcing wide players out wide so they couldn't cut in. The next point is there's 3 versions of this tactic and we need to use them throughout each match. We can't just plug and play the main home one, then there's a away one with a mid-block that's used against Bayern Munich quite often, and then there's one slightly narrower with the centre-backs tucking in a bit more. So this tactic, we did it on Twitch, we built it on Twitch, we made tweaks all the way, so it was a live stream, so viewers helped as well, and we came up with something pretty special. There was bumps in the road, but that's natural. Next point, look, we're Man City, we should be good, and we are, but when you see the tactic, it's going to open up the possibility of getting quite a few defeats. Nevertheless, we won the Premier League, Champions League we were knocked out by rivals Liverpool, we won the FA Cup, Carabao Cup quarter-final, Community Shield winner. Speaking of the Prem, we won 26 out of 38, losing the 4 matches, pretty tight matches, 1-0, 2-0, all away games by the way. That's probably a point to look at. We scored 117 times, and yes, we conceded 41, which is more than Man City would in real life. Right the way through the season, it was pretty solid stuff. There's only a couple of defeats here and there. At one stage, we went 30 matches undefeated, and some blooming big wins as well. Champions League against Atletico, notoriously great defensively, 6-1. 7 against Southampton, Haaland going daft, standard. Have an 8 against Brighton. 5-2 away against Chelsea, and there's something in that. Better teams do come at you, leaving you gaps. Back to Chelsea again, live on stream this one, 7-2 it was. Absolute murder show. Rivals Liverpool, 4-1. They did get their revenge later on in the season, but that was nice. And near the end of the season, a big thumping Derby Day win against United. Okay, here's the main tactic. I'm not going to show the team instructions yet, and the player instructions, we'll get onto them soon. But I want to focus on some key player roles and key player positions. Now, it goes without saying that this man and his position is going to be pretty key, considering this tactic is named after him. Now, first thing I did was, when I started to save, I went to training up here, and I retrained him to half-back defend. He's still decent in that position when you start the game, but getting him to be an actual natural there is key, so do that first. So I've gone with half-back, hoping that it will drop into there and form a bit of a 4. Now, it doesn't work out that way. Nothing does in FM because we don't have out-of-possession tactics, but we can do the best we can, and that's what I've gone for. If you look at his personal play instructions, though, you'll see taking fewer risks. I just want him to get it and give it, get it and give it, shoot less, and I want him to close down less because I want him to hold that position and occasionally drop. If he's going to close down more, he's going to get dragged out of position. So I want to keep him there and then drop it in. Right, Jackie Boy Grealish. This one might interest you, what we've done with him. You can see he's a winger on attack. Now, everyone, I can pretty much assure you, will think inverted winger, right? But there's a key thing here why I've got him as a winger. I want him to stretch the pitch as much as possible and stick to this touchline. And a winger will do that more naturally. And the thing with Grealish is his player traits of cutting inside. Now, if I can keep him outside and he's going to cut inside, which he did so many times, it's perfect. And that man is ideal for the role. So if you're recreating this tactic with a different team, bear that in mind. If you stick a winger with an opposite foot and cut inside, it'll be perfect. Now, no doubt, huge responsibility on this man, your centre-back. He's got a lot of areas to cover, needs to be really good. Your mentals are going to be huge here. Think anticipation, think concentration, decisions and positioning. You're going to have to spend a lot of time getting the right player to fill that void. Next team's your key roles. Now here in this version we have the fullbacks on defend. In the other version, which most people probably go with, is that. But I actually preferred this version for the sake of the fluidity of the team and the way the team's set up. Now importantly, Akanji and Ake don't have traits which mean they bomb forward. Because if you do, sometimes they will naturally leave the position and we need them to stick. The player instructions, which you'll see later, help them to stay in this sort of position here and they don't bomb too far forward. When we played Walker in this position, because he's got traits meaning he wants to go forward, he left the position a bit too much and left us a bit exposed. overpowering the actual role. So be careful on traits. So I guess what I'm saying is for these two roles, you're absolutely ideal if you can get fullbacks who like to play centre back as well. All put together, you're going to get some pretty impressive looking things. Shots on target, I mean, Jesus, Jones, Erling Haaland. We expect that from the cyborg though, don't we? Open play assists, Grealish and Gundogan. High interceptions, which I love, Diaz and Akanji, so two of the back three. Expected assists, again, Grealish, Silva, Gundogan. I love this one. Progressive passes of John Stones, Akanji and Rodri. Those three are key in the setup. Chances created, again, Grealish and Silva. Open play, key passes, so taking out your corners, things like that. Mahrez, Gundogan. All roles are key. It took us a little while to nail the Gundogan role, but by shifting him to attack, he did arrive late into the box quite often, and he ended up with 15 goals and 22 assists. You'll notice Julian Alvarez here, that's a Kevin De Bruyne role, but De Bruyne was injured for most of the season, so Alvarez came in. 15 goals in the Premier League from 20 starts with 12 assists, and a nice overall ratio. So that's version 1. Like I said, I use that most of the time. Occasionally, if we were getting a bit cut up, we would progress to the narrow one. Exactly the same team instructions on this one. The boys at the back just slot in a bit more. Ake is a bit more progressive in real life, so I kept him on support. Akanji stayed in defend. The third version, when I watched the game against Bayern Munich the other night, City dropped into a mid-block quite a lot. So not a lot of the roles changed. Just Foden switches out here to a winger, and the support role for Gundogan instead of attack. The big change in that one is the team instructions. I didn't use that much, and I usually used it during the match. For example, check this match out against Sevilla. Now, if you look at this, the XG match story, we were getting battered. And we were using the main tactic away to Sevilla in this one. And about this point here, I changed to the away tactic, the Bayern version, and it got us the win. But before that, it wasn't happening. So you need to be active, proactive, and don't be scared to change between the three. That leads me nicely onto this part. This is the part where I find out if people have watched the video or not. If they come back in the comments saying it doesn't work. So we start with this tactic, the Pep Stone tactic. This is my favourite version of it, and it's the one that brought us more success. But in some games, if we're not quite getting it, there's too much momentum for the other team, I will drop into that, which is the mid-block version. Just back off a bit more. They did it loads against Bayern the other night to great success. And then when they got the momentum back, they might flip back to that. If we're getting a bit exposed down the line, believe it or not, drop into this one occasionally worked well. For example, the last game of the season against Leicester, I used this formation to get us over the line, and it worked. So I'm not scared to flip between all three. With the opposition instructions that we've got locked in, staying the same on all of them. There is that game against Leicester, which we won 3-0 to seal the title, and you can see down the bottom here, that's the version we used. It's probably the only time we used it from the start this season. In fact, you can see it there. You can see how often we use the main tactic, 88% of the time. When we flip to that one, the inner centre-back one, if you like, 7% of the time. There's a little insight onto the problem formations we face. Most of the time we were pretty decent. Look, +6 chances, +21 clear-cut chances. 4-4-2 gave us a bit of an issue. That was a bit of an issue, that one. And 4-5-2-3, DM wide, probably got the better of us on occasions, like the Sevilla game, and that's when we had to flip the tactic. So those are your 3 different variations of Pep's latest mastermind. Now that's just my variation. I'm pretty sure a lot of you will disagree with certain roles, certain positions, and that's okay. Let me know how you find it, what you're going to do with yours. If you'd like actual first up, straight up downloads of these tactics, they will be in the Manager's Seat Discord shortly, so jump over there and join in that. Otherwise, team instructions for each one and player instructions will be coming up at the end of this video. Oh yeah, by the way, Haaland standard, he scored 92 times, but he's probably going to get that in real life, so yeah.